The holidays are a time of making long-lasting memories with friends, family, and in the case of Toronto, siblings with strangers. For the last 3 decades, the Pan family's most meaningful holiday tradition is retelling the heartwarming story of a stranger who took their family in during a difficult time. The stranger, an Air Canada flight attendant they refer to as an angel.
She showed us that regardless of race, religion, language, what we look like, that people are going to look out for you. Welcome to this country where people are going to look out for you.
Catherine Pan wasn't even born yet back in 1984 when an Air Canada flight attendant showed the ultimate gesture to her older brother Michael and their mom on the day they were immigrating to Canada.
That's me and that's my mom. On our way to Vancouver.
The then 4-year-old and his mother were on a flight from Hong Kong in late November, anxious to reunite with their father, who they hadn't seen for 2 years. He was eagerly awaiting their arrival in Montreal, except they never got off that plane.
We made the pit stop in Toronto. My mother didn't really understand what was happening. Felt like everyone was getting off, and so she kind of went along and got off the plane as well. And when she got off, she, I think, began to realize, this is not the right stuff because my dad's not really there waiting for us. So what's going on?
Talk a little bit about what you and your mom were feeling and kind of the emotions.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to kind of understand at that time what was happening. I do remember, my mother sobbing and kind of going through a lot of emotion.
Michael and his mom were lost. They didn't know the language and were alone in a foreign land. They were finally able to book a flight to Montreal for the following day, which meant they would be stuck in the airport until then. That's when the Air Canada stewardess stepped in, offering to take them home and provide them with a meal, a gesture that still means the world to the family, including sister Catherine, who was born in Montreal a year later. This past weekend, she took to social media in search of the woman they've been thinking and speaking about for the last 34 years.
She's the one that said, that raised her hand and said, "Hey, I'm going to take them in. I'll take care of them." So we can, we know that she's very kind and very generous.
Catherine and Michael live in Toronto, their parents in Montreal, and retelling the story during the holiday season has been a tradition for more than 3 decades. But this year, with the support of the entire family, Catherine took to Facebook to share it with the world.
The comments and the feedback has been tremendous. So we've had I think it's about 1,000 shares right now, and I think it is a feel-good story, and hopefully we'll find her and it'll be even more of a feel-good story.
If you do get to meet her, what would you want to say to her?
For me, it's quite simple. I just wanted to, say thank you so much. She's opened up, her home and her heart, and I'd like to say, things would be very different. I'd like to tell her, our life story, like what happened after you dropped us off, and and continue on and make her understand that there's a lot that she's done for us, even though perhaps in her mind it was just a little gesture.
I sort of joke that it's possible that I would have never been born, if they had not connected or maybe made that connection in time. So I'm entirely grateful.
I did reach out to Air Canada on Monday asking for more information, but the airline has yet to respond to us. But the family says an AC spokesperson reached out to them and is looking into this post about them. Their post has been shared nearly 1,000 times. Their story has gone international.